My sister texted, "Share your bank account details or you and your kids are uninvited from Thanksgiving." I responded, "Then we're not coming." The next morning, Mom texted, "Relax, dear. I just transferred $5,000 from your account for her kids' gifts." That evening, I sent a letter to all our relatives. By morning, my phone had 53 missed calls. My name is Noah. I'm 34, the older child who learned to make himself useful and quiet. I'm the one who fixes Wi-Fi, picks up prescriptions, and shows up with jumper cables. I'm also a single dad of 2. Maya 8, inventor of cats wearing sunglasses. And Theo 5, convinced the moon follows our car because it likes our playlist. I work at a community hospital. Long hours, short budgets, steady routine. I pack lunches, label jackets, and keep the apartment small on purpose. Small is manageable. Small is safe. In my family, small also meant invisible. That was fine with me for a long time. Let the light go to my younger sister, Audrey. She glows in any room. People rearrange themselves around her and call it love. Mom calls it presents like Audrey was born with her own stage lights. Dad used to joke that family is an account and we all just make deposits. Then he left when I was 19. The account stayed with my name on a few lines I never should have signed. I learned early that nodding costs less than arguing. When Mom said, "Just be a joint owner on this emergency account only for paperwork with your father," I nodded. When she said, "It's easier if you pay it now and I'll pay you back later," I nodded and bagged extra shifts. When Audrey said, "You're good at logistics, you don't mind," I nodded and drove, carried, VIN mode, fixed. That was childhood turned into adulthood, being helpful until it felt like identity. The invisible son, the background adult, the reliable tree everyone ties their hammock to. Tuesday night, mid-November, the kids were at the table drawing turkeys with capes while I scrubbed a baking sheet that looked like it had seen wars. I'd promised bread rolls for Thanksgiving shaped like snowmen. New tradition, our house, our pace. Flour dusted Theo's trucks because he insisted the kitchen counter was construction weather. Maya asked if cinnamon sugar counted as a vegetable. My phone buzzed by the fruit bowl. Audrey, the contact photo, was us as kids. Me in a faded Pokémon shirt, her grinning with spaghetti on her cheeks. It pinged a feeling I hate nostalgia and dread sharing a cup. "Hey," I said finally. She exhaled like I'd missed a meeting. "So, logistics. Mom said you're hosting. Perfect. I'll do the grocery run. Just text me your bank login or make me an authorized user, whichever's faster." I laughed not because it was funny, but because my brain misfired. "My bank login, Noah," she said, slow and patient. "Don't be weird. I'll buy everything and just reimburse myself. No back and forth." "You're not getting my login," I said. "Then add me to the account," she snapped. Same outcome, not happening. She let silence stretch, then cut it. "Okay, then hear me clearly. Give me access to your bank account or you and your kids are out for Thanksgiving." Something in me, something old and thin, finally clicked into place. "We're out then," I said. "Come level, you're really doing this?" she asked, amazed. "I'm really doing this," I said, and hung up before she could turn my no into a debate. Maya looked up. "We're still making snowman rolls, right?" "Absolutely," I said. Theo drove a truck through a dune of flour and sneezed so hard the raccoon on his shirt jumped. I wanted the story to end there. Clean line, lesson learned. But families like ours don't respect lines. They treat them like invitations to cross. I rinsed the baking sheet, put the kids to bed, and sat at the table with a yellow legal pad. At the top, I wrote my rules and felt childish and relieved. The first trigger had happened, the ask, the boundary, the calm no. What I didn't know yet was that by morning, the conversation would move from access to taken, and that a number would show up on my screen with a memo line that felt like a dare. I didn't know the calls would stack, the knocks would come, or that I'd end up changing locks and mailing letters like a quiet line in the sand. But before the blast, there's always the fuse. Years of small yes taught as love. I didn't plan on being a single dad. Maya was 2 when her mom, Lena, sat at our kitchen table and said, "I can't keep white-knuckling life." We were 26, too. Well, too broke to pretend. We wrote our kindness into the paperwork. We split time, kept school stable, learned to co-parent like teammates, not rivals. It wasn't failure. It was survival with manners. My family didn't see it that way. In their version, I lost because I wasn't strong enough to keep a family. In their version, Audrey won because she married early and posts photos that look like catalog pages. Correcting them cost too much energy, so I stopped trying. Audrey is 31 and strategic. People compliment her hair and miss the calculus behind her smile. As teenagers, she'd stand in a doorway until everyone adjusted to her weather. Mom loved that. She's an alpha, she'd say, proud like she'd bred a show dog. When Audrey ran up a $1,900 clothing bill at 18, Mom called me. We'll pay you back monthly if you cover it now, she said. I was bagging groceries and tutoring math. It took 8 months of nights. Mom gave me $300 back and a hug that smelled like apology without any inside. The rule wrote itself. If something breaks, Noah fixes it. If something costs, Noah pays first. The list since then is long and boring. Dad's brake pads twice. A veterinarian bill for a dog I'd met twice. Banjo, perfect, worth it, still not mine. A temporary phone line for Audrey that lasted 8 months. Late fees on Mom's apartment because the landlord is a bully. The emergency account joint with Mom for paperwork that I meant to close 100 times. It had $3,200 the last time I checked. It also had my name and an overdraft linked to my primary because a bank rep once said that's safer, and I nodded. Humiliations came in small sizes first. Don't bring store brand to Christmas. Mom said, pulling a 2L from my bag, we aren't poor. I said. She didn't hear me. At Maya's 3rd birthday, Audrey breezed in late with helium balloons and gifts that lit up the room. You should have ordered a real cake, she whispered. Kids can tell when men bake. I cut the sheet cake I could afford and made jokes about rustic frosting. When I finally bought a used Subaru with working AC and a trunk that held 2 scooters and a week of groceries, Audrey ran her hand across the hood. Cute, when are you buying something safe? She sent links to SUVs with payments bigger than my rent. Kids deserve stability, she texted. Translation, your stability must match my aesthetic. I tell you all this because when I finally said no, it wasn't about a turkey. It was about a lifetime of invoices disguised as love. The group chat did its usual thing after I told Audrey we were out. Aunt Denise, let's not make this bigger than it is. Mom, breakfast tomorrow. We'll settle this. Me not coming. Audrey, thumbs down, turkey emoji. I slept badly. Not because of Thanksgiving, but because the useful part of my brain still believed I could buy my way to their approval if I did it right. Morning was normal chaos. Maya lost her other shoe. Theo said socks are against the foot constitution. We were late. On the way back from drop-off, I decided to move rent to the bills account. I opened my banking app and felt my stomach fall through the floor. A pending transfer, $5,000. From the family emergency account, memo line, kids' gifts. I stared until the digits blurred. The emergency account had $3,200, so the rest came from the overdraft tied to my primary. Mom had stretched my credit line like a rubber band and snapped it with a grin. I took a screenshot, needing proof for myself. I called her. She answered, all cheer. Hi, honey, she said. You moved $5,000, I said flat, no yelling, just stating the weather. Yes, she replied, bright. Audrey's kids needed gifts. It's the season. The account had $3,200. I authorized the overdraft, she said. It's family, don't be dramatic. From my credit line, I said. With my name, Noah, she scolded softly. We're family. You want your niece and nephews to have a good holiday. Audrey does so much. I pictured her color-coded calendars turning favors into currency. I pictured my rent due in 4 days. No, I said, reverse it, she laughed. We can't reverse Christmas, calm down. It's just money. I don't recall hanging up. The apartment went quiet like a stage waiting for a line. I looked at my legal pad, my rules. I added 3, close the emergency account, remove Mom from everything, put boundaries in writing. At lunch, I sat in my car in the hospital lot and called the bank, facing the legal truth I'd dodged. Joint means joint. Unauthorized doesn't apply. The rep was kind. We filed a dispute on the overdraft portion, added extra verification to my profile, and set the emergency account to close after the dispute. I thanked her like she'd taught me a new language. Then I did what moves things in my family. I wrote it down. A 3-page letter, dates, amounts, calm sentences. This isn't revenge. It's closure and boundaries. Going forward, I won't provide funds, access, or credit to any relative. Do not ask for money. Do not involve my kids in adult issues. Violations mean no contact for 6 months. I printed 12 copies, addressed them to the usual suspects, and walked them to the blue mailbox on the corner, carrying a small spine. No posts, no subtweets. I licked stamps and put what I couldn't say aloud into ink. That night after the kids slept, Maya starfished, Theo clutching his raccoon like a life preserver, I went through every account. Removed old addresses, revoked shared access, added pins. When my hands shook, I washed dishes. When my brain spun, I folded tiny socks. The apartment felt like a ship in a storm, but also a place with a lockable door. I woke to a phone like a slot machine. 53 missed calls, 17 voicemails, a family group chat convulsing. Mom, call me now. Audrey, you humiliated me with that letter. Fix this. Aunt Denise. We don't sue family. No one said sue. Uncle Greg, who texts twice a year. Your mother's upset. Be reasonable. Cousin Matt, dude, wow. Dad at 2:13 a.m. Proud of you. About time. I stared at that one until my eyes burned, then put the phone face down and made pancakes with banana smiles. Sometimes the only control you have is whether breakfast looks friendly. At 9 o'clock a.m., Mom showed up. Knock voice combo at my door. Noah, honey, open up. This is silly. I opened because hiding is a trap in our family. She walked in, perfume and appraisal, eyes tallying my thrift store lamp and dish rack like line items. She held my letter, creased then smoothed, like she'd tried to crumple it out of existence. This, she said, shaking the paper, is dramatic. It's specific, I said. You accused me of stealing, she said, hand to chest. I did what I had to for family. You moved $5,000 without asking, I said. $3,200 from an account with my name, $2,000 from my credit line for Audrey's kids' gifts. I'll pay it back, she said. With what? I asked. She blinked, recalibrating. You don't understand how hard it is for mothers. Audrey's drowning, her husband's traveling, 3 kids, Noah. Then help her, I said, with your money. This is about control for you, she said. This is about my rent, I said. It's not withholding to say no to theft. Her lips thinned. Don't use words like that. Stop doing things that fit them, I said. She softened her voice, shifted tactics. Honey, give me the login. I'll manage your bills so you don't worry. Let me help. Relief flashed through me, a trick. My body remembered being 10, handing over an allowance for safekeeping. I pictured the memo line, my legal pad. I don't need that help, I said. I need privacy and respect. You're just like your father, she hissed. Good, I said. She left in a storm of perfume and sighs. The quiet after felt loyal. At noon, Audrey tried the door, found it locked, and called. Open? No, I said. You sent letters, she said, incredulous. Who mails letters like a sheriff? People ignored on group chats, I said. You owe me access, she snapped. I have 3 kids, do you understand logistics? I have 2, I said. I understand. Then stop being selfish. Give me the login, she said. She snapped. You're making the kids miss Thanksgiving over a pen? I said, yes. She scoffed. Enjoy your sad meal. I ended the call. That night I watched a Fox and Hound movie with Maya and Theo. Maya sniffled. Theo dozed off. I carried them to bed, feeling stronger. Bank dispute was under review, emergency account closing. I switched to in-person banking, not revenge, closure. I practiced saying, people who liked your weak boundaries will call your strength violence. Next morning, texts flooded in. We forgive you, don't be dramatic, you made Mom cry. I ignored them, texted once. We're doing our own holiday, don't come. At the park, Maya cartwheeled. Theo cast stick spells, turning me into a frog. I croaked dramatically. Rob brought pie, said, boundaries, good surgery. I nodded, clean cut. The $5,000, the memo, the letters, the door. He whistled. Lena arrived, said, your mom called, said you're under outsider influence. I told her I back your boundary. I apologized. She said, stop. I'm proud. Fire alarm hit at 8 p.m., burnt garlic knots, false alarm, neighbors laughed. At 10:12, Mom texted, we're coming tomorrow, don't overreact. I didn't sleep. At 3:30 a.m., the landlord emailed. 2B was available, same rent, immediate move-in. I called at 7 o'clock, secured it. Rob helped move, boxes, books, Maya's art, Theo's dinosaur comforter. By 12:30, new locks were done. I left old keys with a note, not here. Mom and Audrey came, knocked, pleaded. I texted, please leave. They called me family destroyer. I ate a sandwich. Lena brought the kids back. Maya said, it's the same but left-handed. Theo tested the deadbolt. Important. We made snowman rolls, watched the parade, yelled at balloons. Bank dispute was credited, emergency account closed. Relief hit hard. Dad texted a ham photo, saved some, no pressure. I said, maybe tomorrow. We ate turkey pancakes, yelled at the TV parade, walked by the river. Maya was thankful for markers, Theo for locks, me for choosing our family's shape. I wrote a letter. I'm not a wallet or a spare door. I'm a father who loves and says no. I filed it with the kids' birth certificates. Calls slowed. Audrey texted, you pretend you don't care. I do care, just not with rent money. Mom sent a $300 check for that thing. I logged it. Underpaid, but my life's not a cliffhanger. Moral, family is an account. Don't let others hold the ledger. Boundaries look boring outside, like oxygen inside. I won't hand over my keys, bank, door, or peace. My ledger balances with pancakes, parades, river walks, and locks that click.